So, if you've struggled with your internal growth and wondering how much of it's external and showing up and how much are we performing and being present, this week is for you. So, I often share with my clients this idea that when you are no longer tending your garden and you're going into someone else's garden to tend, that is 1.5 gardens left unattended for the greater community. And grace and destruction are like ripples on a pond. Whether it's negative or positive energy, the second energy and action happens, it's going to touch down on that pond and it's going to ripple out and affect many, many other people. And this week is all about what that effect is that when we are focused on our internal garden, it's not selfish. Please hear me, it's not selfish. Somebody was projecting their insecurity, their fear of abandonment on you if you think your behaviors are selfish. You must tend your own garden. And as we tend our own garden, we start to realize that our stuff, our internal shifts, our ability to be present with ourselves is actually changing how we are present with others. I see this all the time with my clients. I say that 90% of my counseling, my couples counseling, is actually with individuals. Because as we change them, 3 paths, 1 human journey, what we find is that as you change yourself, you are changing how you're showing up at work and you're changing your relationship. And this week is all about that. When I introduced this concept of 3 paths, 1 human story, a lot of people are like, those are 3 completely different things, Jen. That's occupational psychology, that's couples counseling, and then that's coaching, brain coaching that you're doing. What do you mean that they're all coming together as one? They're so different. Niches are in the riches. Don't you understand that? Like, you're missing it, Jen. You're missing your audience. And I said, no, the neuroscience is clear. As we are survival and reactionary, that energy is coming up. And as we are preparing, embracing ourselves for whatever's showing up, people are coming in, they're reading the energy and they're like, no, 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 no. And they're starting to find their defenses. And what you defend and how they defend may look different, but that's how you're showing up. You're 100% responsible for your half of the dynamic. And it will show up every single time if you do not learn what it is. I have a free quiz. What about that? That will help you understand your half of the dynamic. Whether it's at work, whether it's at relationship, it is guys as a couples relationship quiz, but you are taking it. You're not taking it with anyone else. So you are finding your half of the dynamic, and it is crucial to understand and know it and apply it. Because how our survival brain is working, the neuroscience is clear on this, that stressor is going to pull something up from the past, and that's how you're going to react. And only when you are grounded, when you're doing this internal growth, can you build the responses that you want and have integrity under activation. It doesn't come immediately. It comes through your process of growth, and it will show up in every aspect of your life. And here's the deeper truth. Whatever's growing in you is affecting the ecosystems around you. As you are having a calmer, more grounded conversation, somebody else is coming in feeling supported, belonging, seen and heard, valued, as if they have capacity or agency over that conversation as well. And what they're going to do is take that relaxed, neutral state and they're going to go offer it to somebody else. If you set boundaries at work and you say, this is my value, this is my limit, then you're going to have other people who show up and say, well, this is my value and limit. I don't have to keep overworking to keep up with the curve. I think it was like in the 1970s, ever since before the 70s or the 60s, do not quote me on this, but you can comment and share it with me. I'd love to know the answer. If I read it, I can remember it, but if I hear it, details are shifty. But it was like 60s or 70s, no one could run a minute mile. No one could do it. They'd get close, but then something would teeter out. Their mind would teeter out and say, we can't do this. This is not possible. Then somebody finally did it. And that second that one person ran that minute mile, everybody was breaking minute mile records. Now it's kind of like a thing. It's because once we knew it could be achieved, value and capacity, then now we can push ourselves. But if it's not known to us that we can do this, then it's unclear of how far we can go. And that unknown, the body and mind will shut it down. They're like, no, 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 no. No one's ever done that before. We don't go there. And so as we are sharing fully that vulnerability and accountability, that clarity within ourselves of what our values are, what our purpose is, what we're doing is we're giving a space for other people to come in with their vulnerability, their clarity, their accountability, allowing them to return to what their values are. That safety becomes rampant. Everybody wants to be present with the safety, not for the judgment and the performance of it, but because the safety of it allows us to repeat that now we're building not only for ourselves a new language underneath the soil, all that framework that we've been doing this month, but we're giving space for somebody else to do it. And that's such a beautiful place to be in. And that's where we're getting to, is we're growing a better world, a better community, and we're doing it one step at a time, one principle at a time, right here. And you're in the midst of it. So I'm so glad that you're here to help build this growth community. And so the internal shift required, again, is making sure we are present and letting life present. No matter if we're beneath the soil or above it, as long as we are aware where we are, we're present with it, and we're using the tools that are we've built amongst it, then it doesn't matter where we're at, because we're tending our own garden. We're no longer answering emails. This came up this week, so I'm going to share with you it. Pretty much, even if you are an emergency, like you are on call, you're a surgeon, you're a doctor, you're on call, it's after 7 o'clock at night, those doctors are not answering emails. They're saving lives. And yet, in corporate America, in nonprofits, in government positions, bosses, coworkers are sending emails at ridiculous times all night long. And I'm not telling you don't answer the emails, because you have to figure out your place and own your place in that corporate structure. What I'm telling you is there's no emergency you need to get wrapped up in. And so you're allowed to set boundaries around it. You're allowed to take a moment to breathe, to find your neutral, and open up a space that says, oh, no one's dying, so this looks like something I will put first thing on my plate the second I clock in. You're allowed to have that space, and that space, that distance between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, that's what we're trying to achieve this week. Because when you give yourself space, you're allowing other people to own space for themselves. And locus of control is in a vacuum. So it's really important that this is what I talk about. Those high locuses of control, when you give yourself space, you're opening up to find balance and let somebody else take some space too. You don't need all of it. And when you let go of it, then all of a sudden you don't have the narrative anymore. Why does it always have to be me? Why do I have to be the one? This is the week where we let that go and realize the community has so much to offer us when we tend our own garden. So this week, we're really looking at growth becomes meaningful when it's contributive. And we've got the paid subscribers are going to get awareness, acceptance, and action. Everyone gets awareness. So we've had a lot of insight. There's more in the worksheet, so go check it out, with lots of great links for you, like our Mastering the Inner Game, our free self-paced course to learn how to maximize this neurohumanity framework and finding our grounded states, our emotional resilience, our executive function, self-awareness, and then those interpersonal skills to lead others. We've got the couples relationship quiz, so go and take it. Even if you're not in a relationship, learn your half of the dynamics so you don't keep repeating it. You have neurohumanity.com, which is my philosophy that actually is feeding all of the content that we have at Empowering Wellness. And then we have coaching sessions that allow you to individually apply this. So if you want to know exactly what's happening, I am so good at this. I can tell you in under 15 minutes exactly what is happening, how it relates to neurohumanity, and how we can build a plan so that you have your own personal individualized growth, our transformation journey. We are here to support you with it. So subscribe, get all the updates, become a paid subscriber, get some of our exclusive content, our mini courses, the rooted model of change that allows awareness, acceptance, action to really apply these principles. We've got great conversation. Make sure that you're commenting on your biggest takeaway this week and stay tuned for the rest of the week. In our Cultivating Mental Bloom series, tomorrow we're actually going to look at the narrative and how are we going to tend our own garden. It's going to be so, and it's perfectly marrying up to this. We're going to look at the self in our Neurohumanity Framework series and how we apply these structures on our own awareness and insight of our personal growth. And the 5 for 5 is going to have some great signs and ways that we can really see this in a more digestible way. So much good work. Emma's always got her integration lab on Wednesday where she pulls all of this together so beautifully for like a 6 to 9 minute video of how you can apply this. You don't have to do everything. You do have to do one thing a day. So thank you for pressing play with us today. Definitely follow us, become a subscriber, and continue on our growth journey together. I'm Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. Thank you so much.